Okay, we have the Aurora 68. I've been looking forward to getting this one because the Aurora 100, which we have there, has probably been the most impressive micro I've received yet. Certainly brushless micro I've received yet. It's just got bags of torque. It feels like a small 5-inch prop quad. The video feed isn't quite as good as that. There's a bit of static in there, but in terms of the actual flight performance, it's fantastic. Really good. The 5-blade props have improved it some more. The Aurora 68, it's using the same mini cube that's in there. The receiver isn't like the third top plate in this one, but the rest is. The receiver is an a Flysky receiver in there. Little bind button. Hold that down while your transmitter's in bind mode and it's good to go. Now I'm not going to do a setup video for this simply because it's exactly the same as the Aurora 100, which I'll put in the description and I'll put a link at the end of the video as well. When I say exactly, I mean exactly. I'm using the same model menu in there. Endpoints were already set up perfectly. You don't even have to change those. I had to change my flight modes round within the graphical user interface, within Betaflight itself, and then it was good. Now, it took me 3 goes, maybe even 4 goes to save those. Now, I don't really know what the deal is there. I haven't had that issue before, but every time I tried to take off in self-level for the first couple of goes, it was actually leaning on me. And the second go, I knew that I'd saved it. So I put it down without the battery in properly, and I just span it up. And because it wasn't in self-level, it was in rate mode, it leant backwards, and then came towards me. Now, not particularly bad, so it just shut it down, but it actually cut me. Just there. Really not very bad, but the props stick out just above the duct. Just above the duct on the edges, so if you like that, it's fine. No, it's not going to do anything. But if it tips up, it could just catch there. So this one, I'd be careful flying it around pets, just in case they were to sort of come down on it. I mean, cats tend to paw down like that, and the QX95 brush blade's about as rough as I'd want a cat to put his paw in, really. Now the angle that we've got on this one, it will go flat straight off. If it's not flat, there's only a couple of degrees in there. It's certainly not 5 degrees even, so it's fine for flying around mellow. And it tilts back even further than the other one. I'm not going to tilt it back now, but you've got at least 45-50 degrees on there, so plenty to fly this in rate mode. Stock PIDs felt fine line of sight, and as soon as I started flying, there's just stacks of jello. I managed a really rough flight, as you've probably seen in a second, but it wasn't great. Now I've taken the props off, and I was going to try it, see if there's any jello without the props, because there's a good chance I bent that prop when it hit me in the arm. Okay, we're already on. Record the DVR. Okay, there's no noise in there at all. However, I'm only using a 300 mAh battery at the moment. This is the one that I just flew out the window with. And if I punch out, there, managed to get the flight controller to reboot there. So just flying around, I didn't have a problem, even flying around out the window, flying up the stairs and what have you. Yeah. I can get the video to go just momentarily, punching out, and then if I punch out and sustain it long enough, it's going to actually brown out. Just repowering the flight controller and the receiver on that one. We'll try that with the stock battery and see if that happens in a minute, because this one is smaller. The other thing I want to try, which I didn't try at first, I thought I had, but I didn't try on the Aurora video, is the Failsafe. It absolutely doesn't work on the 100, on the Flysky version. Now, the reply from Banggood on that one was, it doesn't, it won't, it shan't, there's no way it does. So the DSMX is the only one, sorry, the DSMX and the DSM, sorry, so the DSMX and the Flysky, try again, so the DSMX and the Flysky, those are the only ones with the failsafe that's going to work. So if that's a big issue for you, you probably want to get those. And let's try failsafe on this one. Oh! Wow! Okay, so failsafe works. What do you know? It's also worth noting there was no jello in the picture there. I could see a tiny amount of like electrical interference, but it's pretty clean, to be honest, for an FPV feed. So it is the props that's creating the jello on that one. Okay, we have the 400mm stock battery in. Let's see if we can get that brown out again. Oh, okay. Quite a bit more motor noise in there. It's not crazy bad, but there's definitely motor noise in there. No punching or stabbing out drops the voltage enough. I've also just realised I've got no OSD. I had set that up, but maybe that was one of those non-save times that I set that up, so I'll have to relook at that. Yeah, no sustained punches with the stock battery is getting me any brownouts. Now, the batteries that I've got to complement the stock one, I've got some 400 milliamp hour 2S batteries. Now these came with the Wasp, or the FB90. They were pretty good, but they didn't have a balance connector, so I've just put some balance connectors in there. I should maybe change these connectors as well, but I'm just going to use an adapter for the moment. I've got this is two single cell 500 milliamp hour 25 to 50 Cs, so a bit bigger than stock, and we've put a little adapter up for those. After that we have the Rodeo 850 battery. This is the one that I've been using in the Aurora 100 and really liking. It feels great, really great, even power right to the very end. This one is really not great performance. I don't really use it on anything because it's got a poor cell. But even this feels like it's got plenty of torque towards the end in the Aurora 100. I'd expect it to be way too heavy for that. And then, last but not least, I've got 1000 milliamp hour, which is definitely going to be stupid overkill. But I'm interested in the flight times and what kind of heat we get. still got loads of jello, so I'm going to stay away from you. Cheers then! Yeah, that wasn't great. I'm still getting jello, and those are brand new props, the unused second set of props that came with it as well, so... Without the props on there, I didn't get any jello that I could see, so I don't think it's the motors. It sounded smooth and looked smooth and felt smooth, so either the stock props are not balanced well, or the stock props aren't balanced well. So I probably need to grab some more blades for this to get a really nice FPV experience, which is a little disappointing. There's also a chance that the RPMs, because of the KV of the motor and the size of the blades, because of the vibes, the frequency of the vibes I should say, is just wrong for this rig. That occasionally happens on some setups, but I won't know that until we change props. But if that is the case, then there's a chance that just changing the props will sort that. Just changing the weight of the props could sort it, or down to tri-blades or what have you. Oh, okay.